your...
Well, I find mainly my inspiration was probably from my mom. She was a very big part that encouraged me to start drawing. When I was little, I would always ask her to draw Sonic for me, and she would always do that, and I always used to watch her hands, how she moved, and I always used to practice, and after she passed, I tried to get a little bit better at drawing, so I just wanted to help my auntie with drawing the lion, so that was probably my biggest inspiration.
Now, as we look at your lion, Jezreel, Jezreel is from California. And as my nephew, watching him grow and learn to be very creative with art, he has drawn so much. Like, I really like to watch him draw, and some of the drawing just blows me away. Do you remember when I talked to you about drawing a lion for me? Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, you came to me and you've already asked me that week before, and I finally got the time to do it, and yeah, you asked me, then I started doing it on the floor upstairs.
And when you drew the lion, what came to your mind? Because you drew a lion like I could not even have thought of.
Well, I had already had something in mind, because I wanted to draw the lion's face, but I wanted to try this black and white drawing. So I tried to look for a lion's face, and I looked at what some other people did, and so I finally found this lion, and I tried a new method called something like square drawing, or you draw one square at a time, and you just try to fill in that one part. So I feel like that helped me a lot.
And so, explain to our audience what square drawing is. Jezreel, tell the people too, before you start, how old you are.
I'm 12 years old. I was 11 when I drew the lion. So what box art is so you take the sheet of paper that you're going to be drawing on, and you take a ruler, and you draw little segments on the side of the paper, and another one on the height of the notebook, and on the width of the notebook, and then you just draw the squares from top to bottom and left to right.
And so you say you've been drawing ever since you were younger. At what age would you say you did your first drawing?
Maybe about 3. But I'm pretty sure it was just doodles. But
what has been so far your favorite drawing?
Probably my favorite drawing. That's a hard one.
She's got a book full of drawings, guys, just to let you know. 12 years old with a bunch of drawings. It is fascinating. I literally watched him draw Woody. It's so amazing to see it all come together.
My favorite drawing probably would be my Rocketeer one or my Mario one. Because with my Mario one, it took a lot of time. It took about 2 to 3 days. I first started with the face, and I really tried to look at the picture and incorporate all the different colors rather than just a black and white drawing. And then with the Rocketeer one, that was just another black and white drawing, but I feel like that was kind of like my prime drawing.
So, would you say, Jezreel, that your drawings are a hobby for you?
They're probably my main talent, or, yeah,
I could touch on that just a little bit, because we have so many people that listen to our radio show that have been through having lost loved ones. And you said something that was so profound, in that your mom was the inspiration behind you. And I love something else you said about watching your mom's hands when she drew. For you to have such a creative way, do you think that it helps you to express yourself through healing? Or what would you say?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've had a lot of time to heal, but there's never going to be a time where I, forget about it. But I feel like drawing helped me, connect, kind of. Would my mom be proud of me if I did this, or if I kept increasing how good I was at drawing? But, yeah, it feels like my mom was a huge inspiration for me, because she taught me ever since I was little to draw, and she had a lot of other hobbies, but drawing was her main thing, and it turned out to be mine too.
I would have to say 100% that your mom would be very proud of you, to see you be so creative. You know, we look at the lion's detail because it's our new logo, and again, we're going to let Jezreel tell you about no copyright is he giving to anyone. Jezreel?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm fine with people using the lion that I drew as on a shirt or something like that my auntie's gonna make, but yeah, it's copyright, so that's pretty much all. It's just copyright.
Yes, so we're not giving anyone permission to take it and use it as their own. If you'd like a shirt with that lion on it, we'd be more than happy to make sure that you get that, and the proceeds will go to Jezreel for more art. So you can Cashapp our Face the Lion Cashapp if you'd like, if you want one of those shirts. Look at our logos. We're not done yet. Look at our logos. Our logo for 2024 is the lion. I wanted a lion. I could have never in my wildest dream thought of the lion like this. I want everyone to take a look at our logo. 12-year-old Jezreel that is sitting to my right has drawn what his vision was. And I couldn't have asked for a better lion. All hand-drawn by him. And he's such a special young man to me, because his eye that he can see for the drawing, you couldn't imagine what I see when he draws. So he actually took a while to draw that. It wasn't something he did quickly. So you can tell in every little detail of the lion, he put thought into that. And I'm going to tell you, I could never look at anything and copy it, let alone draw it. I'm a terrible drawer. But I want you to know that on Think About Thursday, this gives you something to think about. When you think about what you can do, you can turn your pain into creativity. You know, I keep thinking about him talking about his mom and how he learned from her. And he's quite the young man, because he's not let that get him down. We heard him say what? We heard him say that, the healing part of that. That's why I asked him think about that what we do with our pain really does matter. And we learn from 12-year-olds, I sure have. 12-year-olds that are wise beyond their years. And if you know any 12-year-olds like that, I want you to write into our podcast, our radio show, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Write into us. You can catch us at any time. You can also call into the show. We'd love for you, because we are streaming everywhere. Call into the podcast. Say hello to Jezreel if you have any questions for Jezreel. I know that he would enjoy answering some questions. I am so fascinated to have him sitting here. Jezreel, you were sick about a week ago, and we wanted to have you as our guest, and you came down with the COVID. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. COVID knocked me around a little bit. I got the main part was my taste and sense of smell. Those were two main parts. And also my stomach hurt a lot, and that didn't stop until about the 5th or 6th day. But the sense of smell, I'm still recovering that. But it feels like, since this is my second time getting COVID, the first time I got it I was down for about 2.5 weeks. So I feel like the vaccine helped me a lot, and also getting COVID helped get me some immunities. So I feel much better, but I am much tireder now.
He's so adorable. He's really wise beyond his years. Not because he is my nephew, because he is his own person. And I gotta give it to him. He's not fazed by peer pressure. And that's another unique thing. I have a kid that's so talented in that drawing. You know, some of us older people, I learn from him every day. I kid you not. I learn from him every day. So just because someone is older doesn't mean that we can't learn from him. Going back to the lion, interviewing him is my joy, because I just can't let it go unnoticed. That this year was special because the 2024 logo, we're changing logos every year. And we have been Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast for 3 years now. And with 300 people in total that are following us on social media, this is a very special interview for me. We want Jezreel to talk more about that lion, and we're going to turn it over to Jezreel. What else, Jezreel, would you like to say? Because he always has a lot to say, just let me tell you.
Well, I feel like that line helped me to get to kind of like another level of drawing, going from drawing cartoons and like the small little things to kind of like bigger things that I can kind of hone my talent more, rather than just 30 minutes of drawing a cartoon and then that's it, and putting the pencil down. But it feels like that line helped me to get into the next stage, or the next level of drawing.
So do we have any artists out there? If we have any artists that are out there that are young artists, I want to hear from you. I really want to hear from you and hear about what you find creative about your drawing. What do you see yourself drawing in the future, Jezreel?
Well, I feel like I want to draw more faces, and like I said again, not so much drawing too many cartoons, but I feel like with the Woody that you were talking about, that even though it was a cartoon, it was still like Woody's face, and there were about 40 or 50 colors incorporated with drawing that, and it took a lot of time and effort, so I feel like drawing more things with more detail, and things that are more hard to draw, that's something that I will try to draw more.
And so, as you draw, going back to the lion, because I know there's a lot of people that want to know who drew that lion. In fact, my co-host, when she saw it, she absolutely loved it. And I'm here to tell you, no hands did that but a 12-year-old hand. At 11, as he's reminding me, 11 years old and drew such a lion like that. So here's what we're going to do. You know, every year I say, oh, we're going to get shirts made, and then, you know, I see the lions, and I wanted something that was original for us. That's going to be the lion. And like I said, all proceeds will go to Jezreel for that, to help him get more art utensils. And, you know, he even signed it. So we are getting a shirt specially made with his signature on it, because that's once in a lifetime. But we are going to talk about the public. And we know you guys are listening. We see you on YouTube. We see you, our demographics show that you guys are really listening all around the world. And I felt that this would be special because it gives us something to think about when we look inside of ourselves and see what we can really do. And if you're not an artist, don't ever give up. If it's something that you like, keep doing it, or find something, like Jezreel said, it's not a hobby for him, but it is something that he does regularly. I like that. And his artistry is not to be copyright. It's definitely forbidden. So we want you to understand that this is very special. We think about things that perhaps we face. How has your drawing challenged you? I know you've already touched on some of the things. Or does it? Does your artistry challenge you?
I feel like a lot of it has, like, any challenges that I might face with drawing is just being tired. Like, because my grandma, she encourages me to draw not so many, like, cartoons or things like that. That's why I was trying to draw more faces, but it is very hard to do. So sometimes that can get discouraging. The last time I drew was about a week ago. I'm gonna pick up on it. I just need to find something to draw. But if anyone would like to recommend anything, I could try to draw something. But I also wanted to point out something else, that even if you don't draw, or if you want to learn how to draw, all it takes is a few days, because like I've seen many people on YouTube who used to not draw, and this one guy, he took 2 days and he is drawing really good. So just take some time, and that's all you need, and all you can do is improve. So
that's good advice. Really good advice. In order to get to Jesse, we have adults in place guys that are going to be able to answer your information. And you can call us directly or text us directly, 661-503-8993. It is a direct connect for Vibe Talk. You can even text us. And by the way, guys, you can text us through or leave a voicemail through our podcast. I don't know if you guys knew that. We're also on YouTube, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast for YouTube. We're there because I want this interview to be all about Jesse and him encouraging you guys. If you've come from a place of pain, especially, do I want you to stay focused on doing something that makes you happy. How did you feel, Jezreel, about your drawings? How does it make you feel?
Well, with my drawings, they're just a piece of paper, but what it means to me, whenever, something happens, that kind of can, mark a day, or something big that happened in my life. Even though, as I said, it's just a piece of paper, I can draw another thing, like whatever I drew, but it's what that means to me, so, yeah.
So when I saw you I actually saw him draw this Woody, and we're talking about Woody from Toy Story, all of them. When he drew that and used the colors that he did, it was wonderful. Now, when you say things mean something, songs, that's part of art. Our podcast is part of something meaningful. What is one thing that you felt about one of your projects that you did?
I feel like that Woody that we were talking about, that actually was a pretty big day. It was the day that, that drawing was about that day. But it was the day when I got, after the first Toy Story and second came out, I got the Buzz and Woody. And, it was a great day because all my family was around. My aunt came back from Oregon, so it was kind of like reflecting on a old but good memory.
And when you guys are listening, it's important to ask questions like, how do you do it? Never be afraid. I'm not in any way intimidated by a 12-year-old who just happens to be my nephew that can draw like that. It blows my mind to think about, wow, where is that coming from? Yes, I know that some drawing is inherited, it's in the DNA, but where do you come up with this from? And how does it make you feel? You drew the lion. How did it make you feel when you drew that lion? Because that's a powerful lion.
Well, at first I felt very intimidated by trying to draw this because at first I really hated to draw hair. That was one thing that I was just like, I do not do that. But Auntie was just like, hey, can you draw a lion?
Yeah.
And so I was looking for these pictures, and I realized that after watching 30 videos about how to draw hair, I found out that it wasn't just lines. It was the technique that you use. And that's why I try to use the box, because it gave me something to look forward to, something to accomplish. And then after I accomplished that, then if I wanted to, I could go on the next one. and that went on for about 2 days. But it feels like if you try and face what makes challenges, that can make you a better artist, or that can involve even in everyday life.
And I like the way you said challenges, because that's exactly what our lions do. When we say facing your lions, we are talking about challenges. And you, in a literal way, are talking about challenging yourself to draw the lion's mane. You know, when I look at that, it looks so real. We're just so grateful for you putting an imprint on our logo, and I will never forget it, because you put your heart and soul. So when you all look at the logo, okay, that you've seen since January 1st, you all know that that lion is drawn from a 12-year-old's perspective. It's deep. It helps us to face challenges, something we've never done. If you were to ask me, Jezreel, to draw a lion, you would not get what a lion looks like. You would definitely not get that. But for your hands to do that, that's a gift. And so I guess what I'm aiming for is to appreciate the gifts that you have, because all of us have a special gift. This young man sitting to my right is a very special gift in my life. He's wise beyond his years, and he has so much love. You know, when you ask a kid to do something, you're not expecting that to come out of a kid, and he did that. You know, and just because you have had tragedy, just because you've been triggered, just because your life's journey has had pain in it, doesn't mean that you are not a gift. And I'm always Jesse is faced with losing his dad. And for him to put his energy into being creative should encourage you, should help you to think about what you want to do. Because he's growing up. He's growing up, and he has literally faced his challenge. And we love him. I'm speaking for myself. I just couldn't wait to do this interview, and I want to thank you, Jezreel, for doing this interview, because what I do know is that there's something inside of you. And whatever that something is in all of you, go with it, go for it, because you all have gifts and talents. Maybe drawing is not your thing, or maybe there's something else that you like to do. Every day on Vibe Talk, or every time we're streaming it, we get to meet people. We get people who say thank you for that episode. And so what we want you to do is, what can you learn from this episode? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate this interview. I hope it's inspired you. I hope you think about what it means for you and what you can do, as you may have lived longer than 12 years. Because this 12-year-old has inspired me to bring you to his experience not just an artist, not just a 12-year-old, but someone who has had to face his lion in his very own way. Think About Thursday is all about giving thought to you, yourself, and becoming the best version of yourself. I'd like to say thank you to my nephew Jezreel for this interview. And if you are listening to us, I would love to get your feedback. How has this particular episode helped you? Or has it? Our number to call in, 661-503-8993, to give us feedback. Anything that you want to say to Jezreel, we will make sure that through adult supervision that we get that message to Jezreel. Vibe Talk has direct connect, not a personal line, but exclusively for our radio talk show. We take voicemail, text, and of course, verbal communication as you call in. Please, if you're hearing this, forward your messages there. And also, if you're listening on our podcast, much of our podcast can take messages, especially this one. So leave us with a voicemail. We want to keep on encouraging anyone that has been through pain, anyone who is facing challenges, because that's what Facing the Lion is all about. We know that you can. We know that you will be able to face your challenges. We ask that you please keep going. Let your 2024 be one that challenges you to become better than you were the day before, the year before. This is Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. And your host is Miss Nisi. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you on the next podcast episode, Facing the Lion podcast, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. I also want to make a correction for our Cashapp is Vibe Talk Face the Lion. Tell us what you think about this particular episode. Please tell us what you think about that. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Keep challenging yourself. Keep being challenged. It makes for you the best of you. Because I don't want you just to make a resolution. I want you to think about I was really bad at moms and then I got the vibe in it. I really took the time.